So, what happens when you take an aquarium air pump, like this fine specimen we have here, which I have modified slightly. I've taken off the power cord and bypassed the low and high setting and gone straight to the coil. Got it connected to a variable speed drive, and we are going to see what happens when you run it at various frequencies and when you overdo the frequency. What happens? So over here there's a switch, so I'm going to give this a run, and it's in run. And over here there's a potentiometer, so currently it is running slowly. So as I turn the frequency up, you can see the yoke starting to move. That's more or less where it's at resonant frequency, 43 Hertz. It's got two yokes. They operate independently. So let's take it to 50 Hertz. So that's what actually happens if you run to 50 Hertz and you obstruct the output. Now let's have a look to see what happens if we whack it all the way up to 200 Hertz. And basically this is stationary now. It's just buzzing away at 200 Hertz. And nothing happens to it. When we get to 50 Hertz, the voltage on the output stops increasing, because at 50 Hertz we're at full voltage. So beyond 50 Hertz, all that's increasing is the frequency. So it's not that you're going to blow up. So at 55, when you block the output, it resonates quite a bit. I think my potentiometer's got some issues. So there you have it. That's what happens when you connect an aquarium pump to a variable speed drive intended for running motors. Now what's nice is you could actually control the airflow by doing this. You could adjust how much air goes through it. Normally you would fit a restrictor to the output of this to control the airflow. But if you happen to have one of these items lying around, you could control the airflow very nicely by varying the frequency, and thus varying the amount of pulses and the stroke, because it obviously goes into resonance at some point, and you can control the airflow. And it's a fun experiment, and we get to find out what happens if you overspeed this, as it were, although there's no rotating parts. Put it on an inverter or variable frequency drive and overdo the frequency. Well, the answer is nothing happens. It just stands still. It just sits there and buzzes, because this is designed to operate in resonance, so it's been tuned to operate at 50 Hertz or close by. In this case we found that that was about 45 Hertz, like so. At 50 Hertz it's starting to go out of resonance, but you're still getting good airflow out of it. This is not a premium product. It is a cheap product, but it does the job. It pumps air. And they're made to work. They're not professional aquarium pumps. So there we have it. Our aquarium pump running off a variable speed drive. And there you know what happens. The answer is nothing bad happens. In fact, it means that you got some control over the flow of air. You can adjust the volume. It also quietens it down a bit. It is not the cheapest way to control an aquarium air pump, but if you happen to have one of these items, it works. So this I did just for laugh, and some people wouldn't know what would happen if you did this, so you guys learned something out of this. So it was just a fun video, and obviously we don't stick our fingers in there and so on. I'm going to consider safety, be careful around power electronics and live stuff. You got to know what you're doing when you're working with this stuff, so take care, or rather don't do it. Anyhow, that's going to conclude our little goofy video on the aquarium pump on a VST. That's what happens. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, and I'll see you next time for more fun stuff. Cheers.